What's going on, everybody? It's me, your host, Bellar Wright, and welcome to the premiere episode of the Occult Review. This is a new channel by me with the sole purpose of reviewing entertainment with an occult bend. Again, this will be entertainment such as manga, anime, novels, American TV shows, movies, things of that nature, maybe some video game related lore, but not video games themselves. Maybe some video game content. I'm still thinking about it. But anywho, today we're going to be reviewing the latest chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is a continuation of a series I've been doing on my other channel, the Occult Gaming channel. So I just figure we should separate some stuff out, and if we're going to be doing manga reviews, why not start another channel for it? So again, we're going to be reviewing chapter 56 of the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is titled Warriors of Earth Assemble. This, of course, is written by Akira Toriyama with art by Toyotaro. But we, of course, know that Toyotaro is doing a little bit more of the writing. Let's be more generous. He's doing a lot more of the writing than he's given credit for here. So we'll be checking his latest creation out and seeing if we like it, basically. So we can go ahead and jump right into it. I just want to let you guys know to follow along. Make sure you go to viz.com/shonenjump and look up the Dragon Ball Super latest chapter, and just go ahead and click on it and follow along. The last 3 chapters of the manga that were published are, of course, free. So that's going to be 56, 55, and 54. So again, go to viz.com/shonenjump. I'm going to be providing you guys the link to get you directly to this chapter. But once you do that, you can follow along. I'm, of course, going to be posting some panels of the chapter just to give you guys a visual guide in case you aren't following along. But really, it's so simple. Just go ahead and go to viz.com/shonenjump to read the chapter. So starting off, page 1 here, we have Jocko hurtling through space in his spaceship. Moving right along, near him we have other Galactic Patrol members in identical spaceships. Some of them have different spaceships as well, but they're all hurtling towards a interesting looking planet. This planet has a landmass in the middle and is surrounded by water. It doesn't look familiar to me, but once they land, we see a familiar wasteland, and we see a bunch of Galactic Patrol members. But we also see the legs of a shorter warrior in a light colored gi with a dark belt and dark wristbands. And we see a taller warrior in a dark colored gi. And moving right along to the next page, we have a beautiful, exquisite wide shot of the Z Warriors, all of them in action. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. I guess minus the androids, but when I say Z Warriors, which I shouldn't say because that's not the official term, but when I say Z Warriors, I mean Gohan, Piccolo, Tien, Krillin, Master Roshi, Chaozu, and Yamcha. I'm also going to include Jacko in that because he's standing there, but damn it, this is beautiful. I love seeing these guys together side by side. But there's something really cool about this panel that you guys are seeing right about now, and that's the fact that all the Z fighters now have the Galactic Patrol symbol right on their gis. So this includes Master Roshi. The coolest symbol, I gotta say, goes to Tien. If it's right alongside his because it's right inside his the circle on his chest, so he's looking like a superhero, him and Chaozu. But yeah, this is a really cool panel. You guys have noticed by now, if you're paying close attention, that a lot of these aliens in the background are references to other fictional characters. Of course, we have an alien that looks like Stitch. Be showing you guys that one. We got an alien that looks like a Monsters Inc. character or Space Jam character. And we also have an alien who looks like I thought he looked like one of those horses from Star Wars The Last Jedi, but he also looks like the dog from the giant dog from The Last Guardian. So yeah, Toyotaro is having a little bit of fun with this chapter. with the references. And one of these aliens in the back behind Yamcha even looks kind of like a Toe Jam and Earl character. But continuing on, we see that Yamcha's really hyped to fight. He's saying it's finally his chance to shine. What surprised me here is that Chaozu says it's been so long that he still hopes that he can fight. He says he hopes he can still fight. So I understand he hasn't been in a major battle in a long time, but if he's been training with Tien this whole time, which he allegedly should be doing, he should be fine. He shouldn't be saying stuff like this. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and move on past that. Yeah, this stuff's really cool. I'm just kind of looking at the panels now. And there's a little gag here. Jacko calls the Earthlings recruits. New recruits, actually. And Yamcha pretty much responds that we're really just, honestly, we're the vets of protecting Earth at this point. So who the hell are you calling new recruits? So at this point, they're all just waiting for the bad guys to arrive, Moro's crew. And Piccolo says it won't be long now. Krillin asks Jocko if Goku and Vegeta are going to be showing up pretty soon. And Jocko just says he sent Goku a heads up, but that they have no clue where Vegeta is. But he's sure they're going to show up because they have a beef with Moro. After that, we cut to the lookout. And Boo is, of course, still asleep, so he's not going to be of any help. Hercule threatens the Galactic Patrollers for kidnapping Boo the first time. And then they ask what Moro's spaceship looks like. Eska describes it, and Popo points it out in the air. So Moro's ship is basically a mothership that deploys many smaller, I guess you can call them fighter ships. And so Moro is on Earth, and his fighters scatter all around the planet. It's actually really cool. They go to one Arabian-looking place, kind of like it could be out of Aladdin. You could say Middle Eastern, but you know it's a fictional place. It looks like, I don't know if this place was in Dragon Ball before or what, but it looks pretty cool. It's a desert place. It could even be in one of the Dragon Quest games. Honestly, it's a desert palace with homes made of stone, probably sandstone most likely. And the right away, Moro's crew starts blasting the place, and one of the pirates lands and threatens the Arabian soldiers here. And moving right along, we go to another vista, which looks to be a maybe Russian-inspired area. It's a castle surrounded by snow. And this place looks like it might be out of Dragon Ball, but I can't quite remember. And here we have one of the metal men of Moro's crew crashing the place. And he starts spazzing out and going crazy, spewing steam everywhere. And at this point, this is when the Z Warriors, along with the Galactic Patrollers, realize that Moro's forces have scattered all around the Earth. And Jacko's kind of panicking. Everybody else is keeping their cool. And they all decide to split up. Roshi is the first to recommend it. And Roshi hops on Krillin's back. They fly off. Gohan yells at them to be careful because they're fighting vicious criminals, but Roshi's just like, yep, which is actually pretty funny. Roshi don't give a fuck. And Tien goes and takes Chaozu with him to fight some of the threats. And surprisingly here, Yamcha goes off on his own. Maybe he's not remembering what happened the last time he went off on his own against Dr. Gero. But I'm glad to see he has a backbone. He's not just he doesn't have PTSD from before. I think it's kind of cool. And what's cool here is I was actually kind of worried for Yamcha that he was splitting off on his own like this. But what's cool here is that the Galactic Patrollers decide to actually go and back the Earthlings up. So a sizable amount of Galactic Patrollers go ahead and follow each different set of Earthlings to give them back up. So Tien and Chaozu, they were followed by some Galactic Patrollers. Yamcha was followed by quite a few Galactic Patrollers. And Krillin and Roshi were also followed by Galactic Patrollers. almost wish Yamcha could train Puar and like have her fight with him, like Tien has Chaozu fight with him, because that would give him some pretty cool backup, and he would have weapons whenever he needed it too. So he should probably think about that, maybe training Puar or something like that. Of course, Gohan, Piccolo, and Jocko, they stay behind in order to fight the bigger threats. The Earthlings are going to be fighting the allegedly the weaker threats. I don't know, maybe I guess they sense the power levels of these guys, but Piccolo and Gohan and Jocko are going to stay back to fight the main threats. So everybody splits off. Right away, Yamcha notices that he's being followed. He's happy about this. One of the galactic patrollers, who looks kind of like the Oracle fish, he says, "We're here to help Agent Yamcha," which is pretty sweet. And then we cut to a different panel with Krillin and Roshi. They notice they're being followed. So down below, I'm very happy about this next part. Down below, we see an old nemesis from previous chapters. We see Yunba, the bear, who was giving Krillin a hard time. So I am happy about this because if you guys see my other reviews, you know that I really wanted the Earthlings here, including Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin, to get a run back on their previous fights, because they came and they just got squashed. So I'm so happy this was the first panel that showed me that they be getting run back. So everybody gets a run back in this chapter from previous fights. So Yunba's down there abusing Earthlings. He's just punching him in the face, and Roshi jumps off of Krillin, and Krillin lands with a rage. Like, Krillin's going berserk here. He's going after Yunba with a big punch. Yunba is surprised at first, but then he ends up blocking it really quickly. And he notices Krillin from before, and he says, "You again." And Krillin's pissed. You gotta see Krillin's face here. Krillin is pissed. So they have a standoff, and Roshi finally lands. And Krillin proclaims that it's not going to be the same as before, because he's been training really hard. And remember, he's had 2 months to train, 2 months to get stronger to face this Yunba again. And Yunba just laughs it off and says, it's fine by him. They can settle it right here, right now. And Roshi notices 3 really cute looking characters, and they're of course female. And honestly, they're really cool looking characters. Honestly, really cool and cute looking. So I hope we see more of them. I'm sure we're gonna see more of them next chapter. They proclaim that they don't care a crap about this duel between Yunba and Krillin, so they're probably echoing a lot of the fan base. But me, myself, personally, I really like Krillin. I really like the Earthlings. I really like to see them get to fight separately from Goku and Vegeta and to do their own thing. So I'm really looking forward to Krillin getting a run back here. And the girls fly off to do their own thing because they actually want to go wreck some other stuff. Because I guess they're bored with the guys. So Roshi, of course, notices the girls flying off. And then Krillin's trying to warn Roshi about how fast Yunba is. So he comes up with a plan to actually rush him together with Roshi. But Roshi here says, he gives the stern master lecture, and he tells Krillin, "You can't go relying on your old master for everything." He's kind of giving him a pep talk. And he says he's betting he can handle that chump alone. Krillin's like, "Huh? Like, why are you giving me this pep talk?" And then Roshi kind of reveals his hand. He says, "Meanwhile, I'll go wrangle those nasty babes." And then he goes jumping off into the bushes. And while Krillin's bewildered, Yunba charges him and gets a sneak attack in. He punches him straight in the face and knocks him through the building. And Krillin hurries and he gets back up and he's back on the attack. So this fight's continuing even though Krillin got hit really bad. So then we cut back to the Piccolo and Gohan, and right away Shimareka from before, the Moro's pirate henchman that looks kind of like Beelzebub from Sandman, he lands right in front of Piccolo and Gohan. And Piccolo's like, "You alone this time, huh?" And Shimareka's like, "You wish." So of course this is a big distraction. Really good job, Shimareka. and Piccolo and Gohan are snuck up on by 7-3. Now, you shouldn't get too angry at this. I remember I got angry before at Shimmereka just being able to sneak up on these guys so easily before. But this time, he actually has some sort of cloaking device that allows him to become invisible. And while he is invisible, he snuck behind Piccolo and Gohan and was able to touch both of their necks. So, of course, what that means is 7-3 has both of their powers. And that's what Shimmereka confirms here, is that he was able to become invisible because he stole the power of an invisible race, which of course we know exists thanks to Universe 4 from the Tournament of Power. Jacko berates Piccolo again, of course, and we see 7-3 has both the powers of Piccolo and Gohan in his forehead, and we can't see the third slot. We can assume it's probably going to be Moro's power since it was so effective last time, unless he ran out of it. And yeah, he has their powers. And if you guys remember before, whenever 7-3 gets somebody's powers, he gets them at their strongest. He gets them at the power that the user can use them. So if he takes anything from Goku and Vegeta, he'll be able to use Super Saiyan Blue level attacks. So I guess I should preface that by saying they would have to be in the Super Saiyan Blue form, is what I'm guessing anyway. But anyway, Shimmereka basically confirms that any training they've done in the past 2 months is totally worthless now because 7-3 copies their powers exactly as they are right now. And 7-3 charges up. Shimmereka hops away, and 7-3 charges up on top of the mountaintop, and Jacko notices he's using Piccolo's technique as he puts the two fingers to his forehead. And Shimmereka proclaims that Piccolo's own technique is going to send them to hell. And right here we get some really cool shots here. This next couple of panels, next 3 or 4 pages, probably 5 or 6 pages, honestly. Really cool stuff. So we got Piccolo and Gohan doing some combo attacks. We start off by, it looks like Gohan's about to do a Kamehameha and Piccolo's charging a special beam cannon behind him, but it's actually a big swerve, and Gohan ends up instead conjuring this huge barrier made out of ki. He uses the barrier to block the special beam cannon, and I assume this is something maybe Piccolo taught him, like something to counteract Piccolo's technique. I wouldn't be surprised if Gohan developed it himself, because Gohan's pretty smart. But Jacko's like a shield, and the shield is actually really good, and it perfectly protects Gohan and Piccolo from the effects of the special beam cannon. And the 7-3's special beam cannon can't even pierce it. So Gohan does something really crazy with it. He rotates it. So I'm guessing the rotation, maybe the way he's doing it is like slowing down the piercing power of the beam cannon. He's like undoing it, kind of uncorking it. And as he's doing that, Piccolo's charging his own beam cannon, and it's really neat because Piccolo fires his, and either one or two things could be happening here. Because Piccolo's beam cannon they both hit Gohan's barrier, but Piccolo's has more force to it, and it goes through it and causes massive damage to 7-3. So before I get to the rest of it, to give you guys the aftermath of the attack, I think one or two things happen here. I think either the barrier had an amplifying effect on Piccolo's beam cannon, and when it shot through the barrier, it produced a attack stronger than even 7-3's. Either that happened, or 7-3's attack was just halted enough by that barrier and by Gohan twisting it and uncorking it, that it allowed Piccolo's, since his was still in full motion, because 7-3's was stopped up against that barrier for a while, but Piccolo's was still in full motion, it allowed his to just plow right through the barrier and through 7-3's attack in order to do massive damage to 7-3. So this special beam cannon is ridiculous. And this continues the trend of Toriyama and Toyotaro kind of showing us that Piccolo can punch far above his weight class with the beam cannon. It is far stronger than even he is. Just like it was against Raditz. Because this thing is nuts. This thing is massively powerful. This thing is super amped. I'm gonna show you guys the panel of at least one of the other characters reacting to it, because everybody's reacting to it. Everybody's far around the world, right? But everybody can still see this thing. We cut to Roshi and Krillin over in the Middle Eastern place, and we even cut to Tien and Chaozu, who are all the way in the Russian place, and everybody can see the beam cannon, and everybody's reacting to it, and everybody can sense that Piccolo is starting his fight. It's kind of crazy just how strong this damn beam cannon is, and it's enough, even with his advanced durability and infinite stamina, it's enough to majorly wound 7-3. Sort of like the Final Flash wounded Cell. That's exactly how much 7-3 was injured, and I'll show you guys that panel. Well, I'll show you guys one of the panels. There's a couple of them. You guys will want to read the manga to see the one where he's the first one where he's just injured, but I'll show you guys the one where he's recovering. But Piccolo says that even with infinite stamina, it's not like he can recover immediately. Unfortunately, 7-3 does just that. 7-3 isn't just a regular android. 7-3 is massively similar to Cell. So honestly, I would like to learn more about 7-3. The fact that he is this good of an android at this stage in the game, even though Dr. Gero is dead, that is fascinating to me. Either Dr. Gero bit this from somebody else, or somebody else bit this from Dr. Gero, or maybe great minds think alike. But for all intents and purposes, 7-3 is very similar to Cell. So 7-3, basically half his body was blown away, and he just regenerates it, just like Cell would. It's not similar to Boo's regeneration. It's similar to Cell's regeneration. He regenerates his arm back, and Gohan and Piccolo proclaim that they were actually ready for him to copy their abilities. And Shimareka thinks it sounds like a bluff, and he tells 73, because he's really good at ordering 73. He's a really good coach for him. He tells 73 to switch over to Gohan's abilities, because he says the Gohan is much stronger. And 73 starts lobbing Ki Blast, kind of like Gohan or Vegeta would. And it looks really cool. I like the way he throws these things. He throws them like Gohan would, with this kind of curveball throw. It's really dope. And of course, like I said, he spams them, and Piccolo and Gohan immediately jump into action. They don't just cower. They jump away from the blast at first, and then they just rush in. So Gohan rushes up first, and then Piccolo's right behind him, and Piccolo's shooting some energy blasts himself. So this right here is really cool stuff. I want you guys to really pay attention to the manga panel pages, because here we see something cool. And when I first read this, I was very confused as to what was going on. But all the clues are there for you to kind of figure out exactly what's going on. So we see a multitude of Ki Blasts coming at Gohan, but we also see him jumping from Ki Blast to Ki Blast. What I didn't understand was what Piccolo is contributing to this. But now I see that Piccolo was actually contributing. His Ki Blasts were allowing Gohan to actually, he was providing a foothold for Gohan to get closer to 73. So there is a difference in coloring between Piccolo's Ki Blast and 73's Ki Blast. Piccolo's Ki Blasts are shaded a little bit darker, so they look gray in comparison to 73's white Ki Blasts. And so Gohan's jumping on Piccolo's Ki Blast from Ki Blast to Ki Blast, and he's getting ever closer to 73, and there's some really trippy looking shots. Even one that's upside down, where Gohan's kind of parkouring from these Ki Blasts, and it's really neat. It's a really cool combination maneuver. And Gohan's just dodging everything. And it's some really cool panels. I really suggest you check out the manga. Because I'm only going to post a couple of these. I don't want to post everything. I'm only going to post a couple of these just to kind of get you guys like, man, I really want to read that. And then Gohan kind of what do you call it? You skin a needle or something like that. He barely like squeezes between two ki blasts, but he does it, and then he manages to hit 73 right in the face, like a huge left hand. And then he basically dunks 73 in the water with that punch. Like, that punch is ridiculous. And Piccolo's congratulating Gohan. Jacko's congratulating both of them for such a combo move. And then he says 73 can only use one set of powers at a time, so there's no way he can dodge attacks from a duo. So they figured out a weakness for this guy, which is really neat. Shimareka shook, and 73 comes out of the water looking pissed. And Gohan's looking confident as hell. He's like, we'll never lose to a copycat. Looking smug as hell. And then we cut to some more awesomeness. This chapter has been so fucking awesome so far. Okay, and we cut to, of course, Yamcha, who, man, Yamcha's so cool. So Yamcha is, he can, of course, sense the battle between Piccolo, Gohan, and 73 from where he's at. And he's like, it seems like Gohan and Piccolo's training really paid off. So I'm wondering if these guys kind of train with each other for a little bit. I doubt it, but this kind of makes me think that he might have like stopped in and train with him for a little bit. And he's kicking the aliens' ass nonchalantly, so he's not having any trouble with these pirates at all. And one of the pirates who looks like a fish, like Aqua, kind of looks like Aqua from the Otherworld tournament. He says, "Damn it, you look so freaking weak." And Yamcha's like, "Oh, you think?" And then he says, "Actually, I'm one of the strongest Earthlings around." And the other guys just have no comment to that. They're just looking dumbfounded. Then he rushes in with the same pose he had during the Dragon Ball Tenkaichi. It's like this really cool, just like side shot of him, side profile of him, like rushing in like a wolf and getting ready to kick ass. And he does. He just, couple kicks, just takes these guys out, and he lands, and they're already in a pile. Just with a few moves, he just piles them up, leaves them for Galactic Patrol. And he's like, "You better round them up now while you can." And the Galactic Patrol they're saluting him as he's walking towards them. And they're like, "Right." And so they start right away with arresting the guys. They put them in the back of the spaceship. And Yamcha's just looking in the air, and he notices more rampaging convicts. So they fly off towards that direction. And I think that's gonna be the next chapter, probably him and Roshi versus those girl convicts. I'm thinking it's gonna be some Roshi and Yamcha shenanigans, and they're probably gonna get their asses kicked next chapter, to be honest. But this was a real cool chapter for Yamcha, so I'm glad he got some shine. And then we cut back to some more awesomeness. We cut back to Piccolo and Gohan doing another combination attack. So this one, guys, super fucking dope. They use an attack called the Demon Flash of Death. And it is spectacular. It is amazingly spectacular. So we start off with Gohan doing a Masenko and Piccolo doing what looks to be a special beam cannon. But this is no ordinary special beam cannon, and this is no ordinary Masenko. So before I continue here, I'm going to set the stage for an idea that I had a while back. Really a random thought. I always wonder, why doesn't Piccolo do a bigger version of the special beam cannon? However, instead of just using his fingers, he uses both hands. One hand he makes the big middle beam. It's just like a explosive wave or a demon wave, whatever he calls it. And the other hand produces the other spiral, the smaller spiral. And then he does a palm-delivered special beam cannon that is as large as a Kamehameha or Final Flash, but still has the drilling properties of the special beam cannon. That was always my headcanon and what I wanted to see. But here, Toyotaro outdoes even that. Here, Gohan's beam provides the catalyst for the middle portion of what would be a special beam cannon, and then Piccolo's beam snakes around that and produces the spiral for what would normally be a special beam cannon. But this right here, instead of being called the demon light of death, this is called the demon flash of death. So this thing is ridiculous. This thing is a Kamehameha sized, maybe even bigger, special beam cannon basically. This thing damn near annihilates 7-3 and creates a huge, massive explosion. Completely engulfs 7-3, leaves him in smoldering ruins. He is alive, but he is melted. He is melted and torn apart. He's missing limbs, and he is melted. So they're wondering if they got him. Even though they did, they know he's not finished. So they know because he's not finished, they need to finish him off, or he'll resort to using Moro's power again. Which is the fact they assume that is pretty damn smart. So, of course, 7-3 recommends that. Shimoreka recommends that 7-3 actually use Moro's power, because if they don't, they'll end up dead, which is a good point. They would end up dead. So 7-3, as he's recovering, he recovers half his face and his limbs back. As he's recovering, he switches to Moro's power, and as soon as the two figures land on the hilltop in front of him, on the little mountain cropping, he tries to use the drain on them, but it doesn't work, and they get rushed by two mysterious figures, and they get drop kicked in the face. And then once that happens, once they get kicked away, the two mysterious figures lands and retreated to the last two of the Z fighters, number 17 and number 18, who look very, very cool. Number 17 asks which one is 7-3. Never mind, actually. I actually missed this line. He says, which one is that 7-Eleven guy? Was he the one I kicked? I didn't even know that he said that till just now. Shimoreka wonders who the hell these two are. 18 confirms that he probably is, because he has no emotions like was described. And 17 just thinks these guys are pretty weak. And he wonders why Piccolo even needed him to do anything. But Piccolo just confirms that, yeah, they need him because they're the perfect opponents for this guy, because they don't have chi. Shimoreka wonders what the hell that means, but Jackal just pretty much blurts out what the hell it means, and he just says that 7-3 can absorb energy from the androids, and he actually gives Piccolo a compliment for once. Gohan asked about Goten and Trunks. He has 18 about him, and 18 just confirms that they're having a blast on Monster Island. 17 let them fill in for him as Rangers, and they're pretty happy about that. 17 decides to make quick work of the opponents they have left. He's not a fan of ganging up on the enemies, but he doesn't want them wrecking the Earth. Of course, because his family's there, and it would just be a shame. But 18 reveals that Capsule Corp is also giving them 10 million zenny to fight, which for us Americans translates to what, $100,000, I think? You just take off what, I think 2 zeros, or do you take off 3? I forget. I think you just take off 2. And yeah, as soon as they're done here, 18 says they're gonna get their payday, but that makes 17 feel kind of bad because he doesn't want to make it sound like they're mercenaries. But 18 just says she doesn't fight for free, which seems to be true for the most part. And that just leaves Shimoreka and 7-3 against Android 17 and potentially Gohan and Piccolo as well. So the Earth is doing really, really fucking well at the moment. So I think next chapter they're probably gonna get wrecked. But this was fucking awesome. I love to see the Earthlings just fight smart and do well and have confidence. I love shit like this. I need more of this from Dragon Ball. This chapter gave me life. This chapter gave me a lot of fucking life. Okay, and then we go ahead and for pages 44 and 45, we switch to Moro, and he's pissed. He calls everybody pathetic. They can't even elevate beyond the low expectations he had from him. Sangenbo is there. He's not fighting yet, so I think he might go down and start wrecking some shit. Or they might be saving him for Goku and Vegeta. Who knows at this point? Sangenbo apologized to Moro, and he's surprised that a whole bunch of tough fighters, gathered on Earth. He's very surprised by that. And Moro's like, no matter. There would be no meaning in coming all this way otherwise. Now, who will be the first on my menu? So Moro is probably going to go down in a moment too. So I'm thinking Sangenbo is going to go down first, and then he's going to be preceded by Moro. So after that, we cut to Yardrat, and Vegeta's on the floor, and he's breathing pretty hard. He's angry too because he failed whatever he was doing, probably practicing his technique. And Pubara, the elder of the Yardrats, he kind of pauses, and both him and Vegeta look over towards the earth, which to Pubara is to his right, and then to Vegeta's left. And Pubara asks Vegeta, "Can you feel the Earth's spirit?" And Vegeta admits that he can, because the fighting started not long ago. So this might imply that Vegeta's key sensing capabilities are possibly better than Pubara's already. But it might just mean that, it might just mean nothing. So one of the younger Yardrats asks Vegeta, why doesn't he just rush over there? And Vegeta just stoically says there's no point, at least until he masters this technique he's been working on. And he says that Moro hasn't joined the battle yet, so there's still time, which is kind of fucked up, but very reasonable because he needs this technique in order to win. So he needs the Earthlings to buy him as much time as possible. And the younger Yardrat just says, "Cutting it close, huh?" And Vegeta says once more from the top, he's going to go ahead and try to get this technique down as best he can, even though it's the midnight hour already. He's going to do what he can to learn this technique. And he says, "From the top, Pubara." Or sorry, Pibara. And the younger Yardrat says, "It's Elder Pibara. Elder Pibara." And so then we cut to the funniest panel of this month's comic. We cut to Goku in the middle of space. He's out of his spaceship looking very confused. Definitely going to show you guys this picture. And the captions here says from the narrator, "Meanwhile, Goku." And Goku says, "Which way is Earth?" And the little squid alien looks like kind of like the squid from Mario. It points him to the right. It says that way, and was a bit lost. So narrator saying, meanwhile, Goku was a bit lost. So we're gonna have to wait until February 20th to see where else this goes. But for now, I've already told you guys that I really, really like this chapter. Of course, I like anything with the Earthlings and Piccolo and Gohan doing really well and being really cool. And this chapter had all of that. This chapter had everything I've wanted from Dragon Ball for a very long time. Everybody's being smart and effective and used. And they look good. They're just used to keep the Earth safe. This is how it always should be, with them occasionally getting wrecked completely. But I like this. I like the Z Fighters being very effective. And even Yamcha got to come in and do stuff and look cool. So the only downside is that we didn't get to see Tien's fight with the Metal Man. But it looks like he's doing really well, because anytime we cut to him and Chaozu, the Metal Man's on the ground, but they're like standing up and doing really well. So they're kicking the Metal Man's ass. I assume this Metal Man isn't as strong as Vegeta. But even if he is, that just means Tien's like crazy strong. But yeah, I think everybody's super strong now too. That 2 months of training must have done really fucking good for him. I know Piccolo's strong as heck. Piccolo is stronger than he's ever been. He's buff in this chapter, and Gohan's super strong too. I don't know if Gohan is using the unlocked potential ability. I don't know if he's using that, but him and Piccolo are just going in this chapter. They're looking like the B team. They're looking like Earth's B team. They're finally looking like Earth's B team. This is what I wanted from Dragon Ball for the longest. So if you guys don't already know, there's also a cynical part of me, because Dragon Ball has been burning me for so long now, especially Super. I'm thinking next chapter they're all gonna get their asses kicked. Maybe save for Android 17 and Gohan, maybe number 18, but I think everybody else is gonna get their asses kicked next chapter. That's just fine as long as you give them a really good showing. If you job them out next chapter, there's nothing wrong with that. Man, I love the fucking combination attacks with Gohan and Piccolo. I love the fact that they got the runbacks and they got the win. Really cool. Krillin didn't get to win his yet, so hopefully he wins next chapter. Hopefully they open up with Krillin winning his battle. But yeah, this was everything I wanted from an Earthling versus a ton of enemies fight. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. So let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you think. And of course, if you like this video, go ahead and rate, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys for watching. And I hope you guys enjoy the channel so far. So appreciate you guys. Take care. Till next time, everybody. Peace.